I'm standing, the war is not over.
Our two ancient houses face collapse because of your stupidity.
I did what I had to do to survive. I will always be a Stark.
We're gonna take back the Iron Islands. Then we'll get revenge.
He died for us. If we are not willing to do the same for him, we're cowards.
The real war is between the living and the dead. And make no mistake, the dead are coming.
Sorry to interrupt. We're here for Queen Marjorie and Dolores Tyrell. Give them to us and we'll be on our way. I speak for King Tommen of House Baratheon, first of his name.
The gods don't recognize his authority in this matter.
You've already insulted one great house. It won't happen twice.
Jaime has this scene with the High Sparrow where he's trying to use whatever means he's used to using. And here's the guy who's like, I don't care about your money, I don't care about your power. Actually, I despise you for it. And that's infuriating.
Every last sparrow will die before Marjorie Tyrell walks down that street.
Jaime has an arrogance about him. And he's used to, people listening to him and getting what he wants.
To die in the service of the gods would please each and every one of us. We yearn for it.
He's a religious fanatic, and for Jaime, it's very difficult to deal with because it's basically talking two different languages.
Queen Marjorie has already atoned for her sins by bringing another into the true light of the Seven. He knows if he gets the king on his side and in his thrall, as it were, then he can extend the power of the faith. And Tommen is quite susceptible to being used. He's quite gullible, and he believes what High Sparrow says.
The crown and the faith are the twin pillars upon which the world rests. Together, we will restore the Seven Kingdoms to glory.
He would love to kill the High Sparrow for what he's done, but he can't put his son at risk. He knows how much tension there is in the city and how vulnerable Tommen is and how vulnerable his sister is. It's a horrible situation, and he's just outplayed by the High Sparrow.
What did you tell your family about me?
I told them I met you in the north.
Did you tell them how far north?
Well, it wasn't a very large piece of parchment.
The most exciting part of the scene for me is definitely meeting the family, because they're featured so much in Sam's psyche, and everything that Sam said, everything Sam's thought, everything Sam's acted upon is justified when you see the chemistry between those five people.
This is Gilly.
You are lovely.
Going to Horn Hill is really interesting for her. She's sort of like a character in a fairy tale. It's the most beautiful place she's ever been to in her life, and it's beyond anything she could even imagine.
You wanting a bath after all that travel? Oh, and a dress for dinner.
Sam arrived with absolutely no shred of self-esteem or self-belief at all, because he had a very warmongering father who was very, very keen on physical prowess and very military-minded, and Sam was always very bookish, of course.
Managed to stay soft and fat. Your nose buried in books.
It's very upsetting for Gilly to see Sam mistreated by his father.
In that moment, you can almost see all of the progress that Sam's made being undone.
Spending your life reading about the achievements of better men. I'll wager you still can't sit a horse.
She's really hoping he's going to stand up for himself. But when she sees that he doesn't, she just decides she's had enough.
He risked his own life to save mine more than once. He's a greater warrior than either of you will ever be.
Randall really thinks he's sort of terrifying, but my father was 1,000 times scarier, and White Walkers are 1,000 times scarier than you, and you're not going to intimidate me.
How'd you come to meet my son?
The Night's Watch came to our keep.
Where?
Gilly?
North of the wall.
It was the first time I really understood Gilly as a wildling, that kind of real pride that you see in characters like Ygritte and Tormund.
The Seven Kingdoms have waged war against these savages for centuries, and here I sit, hosting one in my hall. Thanks to my son.
When you see Sam at the dinner table and he's trying to block everything out, that's the Sam that Randall knows. And when he takes Gilly back out and says we're leaving, that's the Sam that the viewers have come to know.
Get your things.
I don't have any things. What are you doing?
We belong together.
All of us.
Sam was thinking that maybe it's better to be together sometimes. Even if you're not 100% safe, at least you're not safe together.
That's your father's sword. Won't he come for it?
He can bloody well try.
Episode 6 picks up almost immediately on the heels of episode 5. Bran is being dragged on a sledge and chased by whites. He opens his eyes and he's in shock.
Mira, they found us.
Hodor's heroic sacrifice bought them some time, but it hasn't set them free. I mean, they're still in grave danger.
Mira is just hoping against hope that she's going to be able to save Bran's life, and of course, she is unable to do that without a little bit of help.
Come with me, now.
Benjen was so important in the early episodes. He's an important character who just disappears. It's one of the mysteries that's been out there for several seasons, and we've been looking forward to bringing him back.
The White Walker stabbed me in the gut with a sword of ice. His children found me. Stopped the Walker's magic from taking hold.
A shard of dragonglass plunged into your heart.
Cold Hands Benjen obviously had a lot to do with the Three-Eyed Raven over the past several years since his disappearance, and he's got a bit of a window into Bran's purpose.
You are the Three-Eyed Raven, no?
I didn't have time to learn. I can't control anything.
Bran had to absorb the history of the world, the entire history of the world in imagery.
Burn them all!
They talk about the Three-Eyed Raven. It's not just a title that you get. There's a part of him that's no longer Brandon Stark, but is the Three-Eyed Raven, and the Three-Eyed Raven is not, entirely human.
You must learn to control it before the Night King comes. You will be there waiting for him. And you will be ready.
Drink long and deep, my noble king, from this cup of sweet wine.
We were excited to do the play within the play, and it's a distorted funhouse mirror representation of things we've already seen.
Poison! Murder!
Part of Arya's amusement is just that she knows they're getting so many details wrong, but she always regretted that she didn't have a chance to watch Joffrey die. And now she gets to. It's obviously a comic version of it, but that gives her great pleasure.
Arya is kind of slowly getting seduced by these performances, and Lady Crane, the actress she's charged with killing, this is somebody who, like her, has taken as her life's work the job of becoming other people. When Arya is looking in the mirror and she's trying to decide who she is and what she is, and is she actually the kind of person who can do this killing, knowing full well that if she fails in this task, as Jaqen told her, one way or another, another face will be added to the wall. Implication is it's her face or it's your face.
She's killed plenty of people before, but there were always people who were either people she hated or people who were in her way. In this case, she's assassinating someone who she actually likes.
You have very expressive eyes, Mercy. Wonderful eyebrows. Do you like pretending to be other people?
The decision to shatter the glass before it reaches Lady Crane's lips means not just that she's going to be kicked out of the House of Black and White, but there's no coming back. Her chances of survival now have just grown very slim.
Wait here.
Daenerys talks about the dragons being her children, and that the dragons are the only children she'll have. Of her 3 children, she's always been closest to Drogon, and they clearly have some kind of connection that goes beyond words, and she just senses that he's out there in this scene. One of our favorite moments from season 1 was watching Khal Drogo deliver a speech to his gathered Khalasar. That speech clearly lingered in Daenerys' mind, and she's echoing almost the exact same language when she's talking to the Dothraki now. So she's basically telling them the promise that one of the great calls had made years before, and saying now's the time to live up to that promise and to fulfill it. It's something that's been set up for quite a long time, and now we're seeing it come to pass.
Maschine!